Hello everyone, and welcome to my new series, GUHHO, with Taemond. GUHHO, or Games You Haven't Heard Of, is going to be a series that showcases various games throughout the interwebs that you may not have heard of before. Well, I surely haven't heard of anyone else playing them before. So, without further ado, let's start with this game. Now, this game essentially translates to YouYou Swordplay Dream. It is a Touhou game. It features the Touhou character Yuma. So anyone else who's played the Touhou bullet hell games will know who Yuma is. Now, for anyone who hasn't heard of Touhou, you really don't need to know it. This is a top-down hack and slash, and a very good one at that. I quite like this game. I bought it on Amazon for the equivalent of 2,500 yen, or about $33 at the time. Now, at the moment, the game has increased in price. I can only assume that's due to the lack of copies, as this game was released at Kengeki 81. For anyone who doesn't know, Kengeki is a Japanese exhibition. It features a lot of fan media, such as fan fiction, manga, fan artwork, and games based on many popular pop culture icons in Japan. So without further ado, let's start the game. Just to clarify, the price has gone up to 3,500 yen, and that is around $44 US for anyone interested. So, we'll do normal for the sake of this, and begin. The very good thing about how the difficulty is done in this game is that monsters don't get harder or weaker, depending on the difficulty. You just take more or less damage. So I very much approve of that way of doing difficulty. Now the text here, as you can see, is in Japanese. This is the Japanese game. Expect no English anywhere. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Now, the recording at the time is running at 30 frames per second, so it may not look perfectly smooth to you guys, but I can assure you when playing the game it runs a silky smooth 60 FPS on a wide variety of machines, which I have tested. And being a Kengeki game, or very much a low budget indie game, as we'd refer to them over here, it looks exceptional. It's got brilliant lighting effects such as bloom, the shadows are really well done, and the animations are just superb. The most important thing is gameplay, and we'll get to that in a second. So, you probably couldn't understand the text there. It's not vital for the game at all. It's got some pretty witty lines, a little bit of entertainment there, but you really don't need to know what's going on. This is a hack and slash. So let's go. Now the first thing you'll notice is the animations are absolutely beautiful. Like, everything about this game has just been designed aesthetically so well. But that aside, the actual gameplay itself is fantastic. It is incredibly tight. It does everything when you want it to. Swordplay feels brilliant. There really isn't anything bad about this game, especially from a gameplay standard. It's just so well polished. And I've played hack and slashes from AAA publishers that just do not give the same experience this one does. It's an exceptionally well made game. Another cool thing is you can push people around with your weapon, which is always good for guiding large hordes and crowds. Now you collect those orbs there, and basically the more orbs you get, the more abilities you can do. At the moment I can only execute 4 abilities at once. But with the more orbs I'll be able to execute 5, 6, 7, as much as possible. Now I must explain that the level I'm showing you is the demo level. You can download a demo of this game if you don't want to buy it. I must say the demo does give you quite a bit of value. Like, you get 3 boss fights out of the demo and about 3 different levels. It is quite good value for money. The game itself is about half a dozen hours long. So it's not terribly long if you're playing it the first time and search every corner, but you know, you can probably speed run this in maybe just a couple of hours if you really wanted to. But the joy in this is getting the top score and just killing everything. I think the gameplay is so satisfying, and with such attention to detail in the animations, the effects, it's just exceptional to watch. The controls are very simple. One button to jump, one button is your standard attack, one button is your special attack, and then you've got like a final hyper attack. I'll show you the hyper attack later when we get to the mini boss. As I was saying, this is a Japanese indie game, and as far as I'm concerned, it is brilliant fun. It is, some of you may be thinking, ooh, $40, $40 to $45 depending on your currency, that's a bit expensive, and to be honest it is. But this was developed by, I can only assume, a couple of people for Kengeki. You'll have to excuse me for a moment, as Fraps seems to have glitched out. Okay, welcome back everyone. Sorry about that. It seems that Fraps just decided to stop recording the video. Yeah, as I was saying, $40 might seem a lot of money to pay, but I think it's just because they are running out of copies, and they do send you an actual physical copy, which you can buy from Amazon Japan. So, let's continue the game. I had to catch up the level, as I had to restart it because Fraps has completely blanked out my screen, but I'm not too much further ahead. So as I was saying, this is the demo level. You can play through this yourself and a little bit more. I will only be going to the first boss of the demo level. I can assure you that there are 3 bosses included in the demo level, and each one is quite a good boss fight, I must say. Now, on top of gathering these gems, you can also increase your level by killing a certain amount of enemies. I'm not sure whether it's based on score or just how many enemies you've killed. As I was saying, I don't know. However, increasing your level gives you an extra attack in your standard attack combo, which is extremely useful for tougher enemies, as once your combo is over, they tend to break away from you. So you want to try and string together as many special attacks with your normal combo attack as possible. Any of you who have played Japanese games before, I'm sure you're aware of how important combos are in any sort of hacking slash or fighting game. Got caught in a bad situation there. Now the game is quite easy, so if you want any sort of challenge, I'd recommend putting it on hard. But just keep in mind the bosses do deal an extreme amount of damage. As I was saying before, the damage you take increases or decreases with the difficulty, not how many enemies there are, and so forth. There are a couple of different enemies on the higher difficulties. For example, there's none of those red frogs or normal or anything. But here is our first boss fight. As I was saying, you probably can't read the text, but needless to say, it does have some witty lines, as expected of a Touhou game. Now this is what the bosses are like. Many of them will feature very much bullet hell sections. And the trick to beating them is just to chain up many combos like this. Now I've leveled up, so as you can see, I get an extra top-down attack to use against them. I missed them with my special. One of the things with your special is that you have to aim it, and if it doesn't hit anything, you don't get it. and that is the first boss fight. Needless to say, the first boss fight is incredibly easy, but quite a fun one at that. Now, to sum up, this game, Yo-Yo Dream, or Swordplay Dream, is an exceptionally good hack and slash. The controls are very, very tight. The game has got beautiful design. There's more than just that one outdoor area. There are many, many environments, including indoor areas, and they're all beautifully made. The design behind them is brilliant, and it also looks really good. It's that clean, solid game design that you can expect from many Japanese games. The music as well is just, like many other Toho games, fast and great. It really pushes the action with the music there as well. The game paces itself very well. There's rarely any breaks. There's various platforming sections, but because of the rate at which you move and jump, they are exceptionally fast platformers. It just overall feels great. You really do feel like you're a master swordsman running around, jumping across rocks and obstacles, slaying heaps of enemies. As I said, the game won't give you much challenge, and it is, as I said, between $40 and $45, depending on the exchange rate and your current currency, that being an estimate around the US dollar. So, you can get it from amazon.co.jp. I will post all the links in below, and if you do want to read the storyline, there is an English translation patch, which I will attach as well, and I also give you guys the location to the demo. Now, Fraps again has decided to stop showing me the video feed, so we'll have to leave it there. This has been Taemond with GUHHO, games you haven't heard of. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope some of you will pick this game up. As I said, very tight hack and slash, give you about half a dozen hours of entertainment, but the high price tag may set some people off unless you're really into Japanese games and Comiket indie doujin games at that. So with that again, I've been Taemond, and this is GUHHO. I hope you enjoy.